We're going to do a brief strut overview of the Rescue 42 composite telescoping strut. These are what we carry on our units at the immediate time. 23, 25, and Squad 16 carry these. We have two different sizes. We have a short and a long. And these sizes extend to different heights. So the short will extend to 6 feet. The long will extend to 8 feet. They're a 3-tier system, and they're operated by these pins. Each strut comes with 2 yellow pins. They just unhinge and they slide right out. Those are your pins. When using the struts, make sure you don't lose these. That's what holds the struts together and makes the strength of the strut known. All right, these pins are what keeps these struts together, what gives the strength of the strut. Whether you have 1 or 2 pins in will decide how much the load that you can put on the strut it will hold. And if you don't remember what the numbers are, they have a diagram on the side here of the strut where I'm pointing with my finger. That'll tell you what a 1 pin will load at how long and what a 2 pin will hold at how long. The pins come out fairly easy. All it is you put it through the hole over the top and it locks into place. And when you want to bring it off the strut, bring that end off, wrap it around, and slide it right out of the dowel hole that they have on the struts. Like we're saying, these are 42 composite struts. They're made out of a composite fiberglass. It's very strong. The lengths of it varies with your white, red, blue. When you're using the pins on these struts, if you have all 3 sections out, you need to have a pin that goes through the red and the white, and then the white and the blue. They will not work properly if you only put it through the same color twice. You won't get the maximum strength of the pin. We use struts in vehicle extrication, stabilizing vehicles on their sides. We also can use it in structural collapse, so shoring up truss members of the house or even header beams that are falling in from possible collapse. These struts themselves, you don't ever want to extend out past the marked section of these struts. And it's spray painted in orange to let you know just how far you're not supposed to go out. And the same marking is on the blue as it is on the white. That lets you know you're too far out on your strut, so don't go past that point. The head of these 42 struts, you got 2 different sides. You have the double lip side where my 2 fingers are at right now, and then you have the single piercing side. Whenever we're coming at a vehicle to strut, the manufacturer recommends to use the piercing side, because this side, when the strut is brought into the car, it's going to tear the metal, or it's really going to seat in there and grab well. It's not going to slip off like the possibility this side might have. This is good for a lip, or for if you're doing the shoring in a collapse situation, to run that up under your header beam or your truss beam or whatever it might be, and then slide into place here. Also on this head, there's notches cut out on each side. This is for an added safety benefit. If you're going to use it to shore up a building, you can toe nail in the sides with nails to hold the strut head in place. If you noticed on the double side, there's this slit right here, this cutout. If you have chain that you want to wrap over this thing for possibly making some type of a cradle system with the strut, this is the right size to slide a chain link inside of it to hold it in place. And as you can see, this thing will do a 360 swivel to move around in whatever position or location you might need it. A couple safety things with struts. When we are strutting a vehicle, we don't want our struts to be in greater than a 75-degree angle or less than a 45-degree angle. You want to be between those 2 numbers. If you're too high or too low, you have the possibility to kick out less than 45, and then instead of stabilizing the load, if you go over 75, we're actually lifting the load. These aren't lifting struts. They're not designed for that. They have other attachments that we don't have in in our county that we could attach to it to make it a lifting strut, but we don't have that option. So just remember that these are stabilization struts, not lifting struts. On the bottom, you have the base plate. It's got multiple cutouts and holes inside of the base plate. This is for driving pickets or some type of stabilization bars. It's also different attachment points for the ratchet straps that go with the strut. If you gotta marry all your straps or struts together, you'll take a strap and you can run it through. You take one strap, depending on how long it is, you can run it through all 4 bases of your struts or 2 bases of your struts, and you can marry them together using one strap to stabilize the load. If your strut is, you need to take your base plate off. These pins are what holds the base plates in. And the base plate slides off like so. Okay, with these base plates, when you put the pin back in, you want to make sure you're going steel on steel of the base of the pin itself, not directly through the composite of the material. The strength of it is where the pin is actually resting on the base plate, not the other way around. We have the possibility of fracturing the strut if we don't set the pin properly in this base plate section, which will take the strut out of service. So just keep that in mind if you're having to operate this strut at all.